Well, for years now, there has been concern about disinformation on public social media. And now the Canadian government, well, they are concerned about disinformation in your private messages. Catherine Tunney has more.
Free and easy to use, WhatsApp is hands down the world's most popular messaging service. With more than 1.5 billion users, it's also a highway for dangerous disinformation to travel through. In fact, the company had to crack down after a number of disinformation spread in India and led to a series of lynchings.
WhatsApp's been sort of ground zero for this conversation, in part because in many countries, particularly emerging economies, WhatsApp is the primary mode of communication.
This type of issue was flagged to the president of the Privy Council, Dominic LeBlanc, in a briefing note obtained through access to information. Now, the note says it warns that private and encrypted conversations can aid foreign interference and voter coercion. And it goes on to say, this is an exact quote, "This will introduce difficult considerations such as the trade-offs between respecting the privacy of private communications and protecting the integrity of the electoral regulatory regime. There will additionally be significant challenges for enforcement." Now, the section on implementation and recommendations is unfortunately redacted in the ATIP, but it raises a lot of questions about privacy and where the government is headed.
End-to-end encrypted communication, the things the government would have to do to break that or to impose in that communication chain would be so dangerous to the architecture of the internet that depends on that kind of encryption that is probably not worth entertaining. But some sort of regulation or engagement with content that happens in much wider semi-private channels, even if it's perhaps auditing of content in that or some degree of oversight, is something that could probably be done.
A spokesperson for Dominic LeBlanc says they are working with social media platforms, but wouldn't answer direct questions about what they're actually thinking of doing and where they want to go on this file. They did add, though, they did stress that Canadians have a right to private communication. Catherine Tunney, CBC News, Ottawa.